I'm so excited to have everyone here today. It is spring. It's the first day of spring. Can you believe it? It feels like spring here in our kitchen, and we're in New York City, and it's actually starting to feel like spring outside too. So excited. Thank you for joining us. We've got Sarah with us today. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
She joined us last week. I think you guys agree we had a wonderful show. She's back again. She's going to be looking at your comments and getting them back to me in case you guys have any questions. Today we're talking about springtime. We've got some soup for you. We have 2 really cool salads and some really great tips. So let us know what your favorite thing about spring is. Let us know what types of things you do at springtime, like maybe spring cleaning or anything like that, and what your favorite soups and salads are. So we're going to get started. We're going to start with a spring pea soup. Yay! All right, so let's get started. I'm going to turn this on. I feel like spring pea soup is one of my favorite things. I'm going to make it a little bit healthier for you guys today because I don't want you guys to think that every week I put bacon in everything, but in my heart, I really want to put bacon in this soup today. So we are going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some butter to our pan. All right, and then we're going to cut up an onion here. Again, you're going to find all of our recipes. Every week you can find our recipes. They're pinned right there in your comment feed, so they're easy to find. We're going to use an onion. This is a pretty big onion, so I'm just using half of it. The recipe calls for like 1 medium size or small onion. So I'm just going to cut this. Nice. All right. The cool thing about this soup is this is a blended soup, right? So, which means that nothing has to be really perfectly diced or really perfectly chopped because it's all going to get blended really smooth later. So it's just about getting it all in the pot. I think blended soups are probably some of my favorites because they have all this really great flavor. They're great to eat, and as long as you don't make them too spicy, 90% of the time you can even give these to the little ones, the little ones, like the babies, your 1-year-old. All right, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. So what we've got today is instead of using bacon, we are going to use smoked turkey. So this is really easy to find at your grocery store. The cool thing about the smoked turkey is that it's obviously fully cooked through, and it adds just like that really great smokiness that you're going to love. You can put it in there just to flavor, and then you can also leave it. We'll pick it out and I'll show you guys afterwards. Afterwards, if you want to take the meat off, you can actually use it as a garnish. So I'm not going to use all of this. And by the way, smoked turkey meat is really inexpensive. We got this whole bowl for like $3. So it's really easy.
We have a lot of people tuning in and saying hello.
Hi.
We had Heather from Long Island, New York, Linda Valdez from Raleigh, North Carolina, Roger Wright from Oklahoma. But we have a question that I want to ask you.
Sure.
From Cassandra. She says, what's the difference between a blended soup and any other soup?
Oh, well, we're actually going to, when we finish the soup today, we are going to throw all of it into this nice Vitamix blender, and we're going to puree it until it's like really nice and smooth.
Oh.
So, yeah. So that's why it doesn't really matter, like, if everything doesn't have to be super pretty and chopped up perfect, because we're going to put it in the blender.
That sounds super convenient.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course, that means that you have to have a blender. I try to make you guys recipes where you don't have to have too many, like, kitchen gadgets, but today we are using a blender, so.
It's smelling delicious in here.
Already,
it smells really good already.
Already, right? We're just like a few minutes in. So here, now what we're going to do is, you can see the onions and the butter and the smoked turkey is all starting to get together. I'm going to throw a little bit of wine in here. And then what you want to do is you want to cook the wine out. So what that means is you just want to make sure that it evaporates. And sometimes you only want to do it by a little bit, but here we want this to completely evaporate.
So this might be a silly question, but if you're putting wine in something but you're cooking it out, there won't actually be any of the alcohol.
So no alcohol, right?
Great.
So yeah, so you can give this to your kids. You can eat it. What happens is you can see, I think probably you guys can even see, it's steaming and all of this liquid is starting to evaporate. So you get this really great flavor that's kind of acidic. And it has just like another layer of complexity to it, but it doesn't taste like alcohol.
Stacey Ray wants to know what kind of wine you use.
Yep, so we're using a dry white wine today, like a Sauvignon Blanc. You can use anything you like. I remember once I had a chef tell me, like early when I first became a chef, probably like 13 years ago, say, you know, you don't have to use the best wine in the store, but when you're cooking with wine, you should at least use wine that you wouldn't mind drinking. You know, so I think sometimes, you know, people will say, oh, well, I'm just cooking with it, and they'll buy like, you know, really kind of like wine.
I think it's fine. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun to buy a wine that you can drink while you're cooking with it.
Exactly. You know, you can pour a little in your glass, pour a little in the pot.
Exactly.
All right, so if you look in the pot, you can see all of the wine is completely evaporated. And this is the point when we are going to add chicken stock, and we're going to add our peas. So the chicken stock is, you can make it at home, or you can buy a really nice, rich one from the grocery store if you can find it. So today we're using an organic, free-range, really nice chicken stock, full of flavor. But, you know, again, if you want to do a hack, you can definitely buy the chicken stock already prepared from the grocery store. We're also going to add these peas. So our peas are actually frozen peas. I like using frozen peas better than freshly shelled peas for this soup. I just think they have a really great flavor. A lot of times you can find frozen peas that are flash frozen, so they're really nice, still just amazing. You don't need to like buy fresh peas. So we're going to throw, these are about 2 packages of peas.
Karen Phillips asks how you can tell when all the alcohol is cooked out. Is it when it evaporates?
Yeah, when there's no more liquid left in the pot, then it's just completely cooked out.
And then you have Pat Burnett, who actually said he would rather use ham hocks.
Well, I would rather use ham hocks too, but I'm trying to take note of everyone's comments. And I know every week, you know, I love bacon. I love ham hocks. That's my guy, whoever made that comment. But so we're doing it a little bit healthier. We're using turkey this week, so we don't use pork. But yeah, if you were at my house, we would be using the ham hocks. I got you. So we are going to actually cover this now, because you're going to want it to simmer for a little while. So we'll do it for as long as we can here. If you're at home doing this, you can simmer it for up to 20-25 minutes. Today we're going to do it for probably about 6 or 7 minutes. In the meantime, we've got some really cool salads we're going to work on, and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you guys how to blend it. All right?
May I ask you one more quick question?
Yeah.
Linda Howe Batson asks, what about dried peas?
Well, so if you wanted to use dried peas, that's going to take a lot longer. You can either reconstitute them overnight so that they come up and then they're fine, and then you can throw them in here, which is also really easy. Night before, just stick them in a nice big bowl with cold water. The next day when you wake up, they'll be completely reconstituted. But if she's talking about more like a split pea soup, I like to make those in a crock pot. And that's a little bit of a different recipe. You make it sort of the same way you would make like lentils, so which we can do on another show. Awesome. Okay, so what I'd like to do is get started on a really cool salad for you guys. And I think you guys are going to like this. In the meantime, we can also talk a little bit about spring cleaning. So this is a good time, right, Sarah? Like a good time of year to like get things handled.
Oh,
like
I think
springtime.
so.
I love it.
It's like I don't necessarily like to do them, but we were talking a little bit about how afterwards you just feel so good.
Yeah, like springtime is the time of year when I switch all of my clothes out. So I'll switch everything from my summer and spring clothes and then my fall and winter clothes. But like in the kitchen, I usually use that as a time to clean out the refrigerator, clean out the pantry. Definitely you have to clean the microwave, which maybe you didn't get a chance to clean all winter. So yeah, I think we have a really cool video too for cleaning out your microwave. So you know, there's some easy hacks. You can clean with like lemon and hot water. You can clean with vinegar. But yeah, this is just like the perfect time of year. Just get it all done, and then by the time, you know, I guess April comes around, you just feel really good. So it's kind of like my favorite.
Let's see here. We do have a couple other questions regarding, are you able to use beer instead of wine for your last recipe?
Yeah, you could use some beer. I would use like a light beer, like a Pilsner, something like that. if you wanted to use beer.
And that would still give it the same acidity.
Yeah, you could kind of get just that extra sort of, I guess I'm saying, like a layer of like complexity, if you will. Yeah, that's a good one.
Which is your favorite of these microwave hacks? Do you have a way that you particularly like?
I mean, I'm one of those people who comes from the old school where you can use like vinegar solution to kind of clean everything. It doesn't smell that great, but yeah, I either use like bleach solutions or vinegar solutions a lot as like cleaning agents. It's just all natural way to clean, so I would probably use that one. All right, so we're going to make one of my favorite salads. This is just a really clean, fresh salad. So, you know, springtime, you're just starting to think about summer and all of those fresh fruits and vegetables that are going to be coming into season. We're not 100% there yet, but we're starting to see some really cool stuff. So this is a great time for citrus. And this salad is going to be orange with fennel. And we're going to put a little bit of red onion in there. It's very light. It's very yummy. We'll start with the fennel, actually. So this is what your fennel looks like when you get it from the store.
Whoa.
It's huge, and it looks intimidating. It is not intimidating. I'm going to show you guys right now how to break this down. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off all of the tops. Just like that. Now, you don't have to throw this away. You can actually keep, these are called fronds. We can actually keep some of these fennel fronds, and I'm going to just put some here to the side, because these are great. They're like a nice little garnish. So, you know, fennel kind of tastes like black licorice, but not in like a, I don't really love black licorice. I never did even when I was a kid, but I like the taste of fennel. It has a much lighter flavor, and it's nice and crunchy. Do you like fennel?
I do like fennel. Yeah, and it's funny because I don't like licorice either. It's definitely more mild.
Yeah, it's so much more mild. So I hate when people say, well, what does it taste like? And then I say black licorice, and then half of the people will just be like, no, never mind. I'm like, no, you got to try it. It's really good. So we're going to save a little bit of this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take off these outer layers that are kind of brown, which here is just, you know, kind of, we'll take the root off a little, actually. There you go. And we'll take off these outer layers. So fennel, like a lot of the things that we work with, will definitely start to get discolored and start to oxidize pretty quickly if you, as soon as you take it off. So we'll add some citrus. We have some fresh lemon. We'll add that so it stays really nice and bright. Here you'll see there's like a really thick root. You don't really want to eat that because this is going to be really hard and tough. So we are going to actually use our knife like this to take that center core out. All right? You don't want that part. It seems like we've already broken this thing down from that giant piece of fennel, and we're already down to just this small piece of fennel right here.
It looks a lot less intimidating.
It's less intimidating, that's what I'm saying, you know. And you can save the other stuff. That the rest of the fennel is really great to use like in a soup stock or something like that. So what we're going to do is we are just going to slice this really nice and thinly.
Linda Crowley says roasted fennel is amazing.
Roasted fennel is amazing.
And then Karen Phillips says that her husband's allergic to oranges. So is there another fruit that you could substitute in? I know we're not quite to the orange part yet, but is there another fruit that you would suggest as a substitute, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, if he's allergic to all citrus, because you could use any other citrus, it doesn't have to just be oranges. But if he's allergic to all citrus, you know, other things that play nicely with this are going to be like, that are still in season, like pear. You could get pomegranate.
Ooh, pomegranate.
Yeah, like little pomegranate kernels are really nice. Any kind of stone fruit, really. Plums and peaches and apricots. All that stuff plays really well. My knife is not that sharp today. Sorry, guys. Okay. Here we go. So I am going to actually drizzle some lemon on here, and that's so that we keep this fennel looking really nice and bright. That's a little trick that I think I've taught you guys a couple weeks ago. So that's going to keep this, and it sort of serves as a little bit of like, since this doesn't have like a dressing, it just has like a light coating of lemon, and we have olive oil. So this is going to sort of be like part of our dressing too, and it's going to keep it nice and bright. So here I'm going to show you guys really quick, like the fastest way to what they call supreme and orange. So we're going to cut the bottom. This is really easy. We'll cut the top, and then we're going to go around the sides. We're just trying to get all of the pith and all of the skin off. So we'll just go around.
You make that look very easy.
Really, because my knife is not sharp today. I feel really bad.
You're making it look very easy.
Like, oops. I should have sharpened my knife for you guys. But so what's left here is just the flesh, right? So you can cut it in different ways. Sometimes I like to just cut it like in little circles, and sometimes I like to cut it like here, where you go between, and you just get the segments out, just like that. Do I make it look really easy? It is really easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that at home.
You should.
You've inspired me.
I hope that when you leave here, you try all these recipes. So, what are people saying are like spring things? Like, what do they do?
Let's see. We do have someone that shared a microwave hack. Jane Pear said, half a lemon heated for 30 seconds, cut right side up in the microwave, does the same cleaning job and smells better than vinegar.
Yeah. That's the only thing about vinegar. It doesn't smell very good.
Let's see. And some people are saying, Anita Hill says that she does like to clean her microwave. So
Yeah.
it's perfect that we did that. We showed you that hack.
It's a good one, guys. That's a good one. Okay, so we're almost done with this salad here. We're going to put the orange segments right on top. So this is just like a really light one. And I'm not going to get rid of the juice that's left behind. I like that too, so I'm just going to sort of put that on there. We've got a little bit of red onion. I think that's going to add that savoriness that we're looking for. And we'll just slice it really thin. We don't need this much. We're just going to take a little bit, right? We'll kind of pick that apart, just like here. We're like building a salad, guys.
I'm smelling the soup, just so everyone knows, too. It's smelling delicious in here.
Yeah. Don't you just love spring?
Yes, Cassandra says, I clean our closets, window blinds, and floors.
There you go.
The blinds, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, blinds is pretty ambitious. I feel like that the one time of year that I do the refrigerator is like, that's the biggest thing for me. I love how it feels when it's clean. I hate cleaning it. I absolutely do not like doing it, but I love the feeling of when it's done. Which I guess that's everybody, right? Nobody wants to clean.
Yeah, nobody actually wants. I don't know. I think there are some people that do get pleasure from cleaning. I think there are those people.
I'm going to show you one more thing. We're going to take some of this mint here. We're going to stack it. I think I've talked about this before. So we're just going to stack it. We're going to do what's called a chiffonade. It's like little thin pieces of mint. We're going to roll it up, and then we'll slice it really thin. Chiffonade is a French word that means ribbon, and I think that's where this technique came from, since it kind of like looks like these little ribbons.
Pretty.
And we will sprinkle some of that on top. This is such a nice salad. So like my thing with you guys every week is like, how can we make really simple recipes that don't take a long time, don't have a zillion ingredients, but still pack a lot of flavor? And so this is one of those. It doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients, but packs a lot of flavor. We're going to put a little bit of salt on the salad. We're going to put some pepper, just like that. I have some chopped pistachios.
It's so funny. Let's see. Somebody had said, Christine Sullivan had said, chopped pistachios would be terrific with a salad. And, you know, Christine, you called it because we are putting chopped pistachios on
and then we're
going
to drizzle just some really nice olive oil on top. And that is like the easiest salad.
That's beautiful. I love the colors.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
I love this one. All right, so that's the first salad. That's one of my favorite springtime salads. And then we're going to make another one, which is super easy. Oh, you know what? I did want to show you guys. These fennel fronds, we can actually chop those up. It kind of looks like dill, right?
It does.
You can chop up the fennel fronds. And we can even sprinkle some of those on top. Just add another little pop of color. So really yummy. And that's that. How easy was that?
So easy. I'm inspired again.
I love it.
Okay. We do have a couple people asking if you've done this soup yet, and I just wanted to address that. So, guys, we started the pea soup. Well, we have not completed it yet.
Yeah, so the soup is over here. It's getting really happy with itself. And we're in the meantime, we're making a couple really fun salads, and then we're going to go back to the soup. So right now it's just kind of like cooking down. So the second salad I wanted to make for you guys, this one is really, really simple. And we're really just kind of focused on showing a little bit more about making a salad dressing than really making the salad. So, you know, again, it's still spring. It's not time for us to be able to work with like watermelon and strawberries, but you know, asparagus are always there for us. So we've got some asparagus and we have some grape tomatoes. So with the asparagus, the way I prepared these is we just did a simple blanch. And for those of you that don't know, that just means that we cut our asparagus in these kind of like 2-inch pieces. We put them in hot boiling water for just about 10 to 30 seconds, and then immediately took them out and put them in a bowl of ice water to shock them, meaning that we want the asparagus to stop cooking altogether, and what you end up getting is this beautiful bright green color. It has a nice little crunch to it, and it's nice and cold, so it is ready for a salad. It just kind of smooths it out. It's better than just putting like raw asparagus in there. So we'll start by just throwing this. This is a really simple, super easy salad. And I think both of these salads today are sort of meant for you to serve them like alongside of something else. Although you could throw like a protein on here, like some grilled chicken, and then that would just be like a lunchtime thing. So here we're going to throw some of these really pretty grape tomatoes on here. And then I'm going to show you guys how to make the simplest, easiest salad dressing. So we're going to start with some Dijon. And I think I talked with you guys. So, you know, like when you make a salad dressing, right? So oil and vinegar, or oil and water, oil and anything, they don't mix. And so it's like, how do I get that salad dressing to be this really nice consistency? You need an emulsifier. My favorite is Dijon mustard, which I'm using here. You could also use like an egg yolk, if you're not weird about using an egg yolk.
Yeah.
You could always use like a tablespoon of mayo or anything like that. So you'll always start first with the Dijon and then with the vinegar. Oil always goes last, right? So we're just going to stir this here and make sure like it's completely incorporated. Okay. And then I'll add a little bit more. So this is white balsamic vinegar I'm using today. It's balsamic, but it's just nice and clear. The only reason why I'm using this is because sometimes like I want to keep these really pretty bright colors, and I don't want like a dark dressing. So that's why I'm using the white balsamic. And then I'm just going to slowly add this olive oil and just continue to stir it. And you'll see it just starts to come together. I'm always fascinated by like science, how this binds oil and vinegar together and makes it really nice and smooth like that. Isn't that cool, Sarah?
Yeah, it's again, I just love how simple it is.
It's so simple. So you guys can see, instead of sometimes when you just try to mix oil and vinegar together and they don't go, what happens when you add that Dijon is like now it's like a really nice, like smooth consistency. Boom, easy. All right, so we're gonna drizzle some of that on top. All right. That's a really simple salad.
With homemade salad dressing.
With homemade salad dressing. And I'm going to, you know, I like to put little things on everything. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Yum.
All right. Okay, guys, everybody still with me?
Yeah. You're getting a nice thank you from Cheryl Middleton Anderson. She said, my granddaughter and I want to eat healthier, so thank you for the salad recipes.
Yeah, I like this one. All right, so we are back to our soup. Here we go. You guys can see, looks really nice. Obviously, if you had extra time, you could do that, but here we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take the soup. First, I have to obviously take out the turkey. Now, if you had cooked this for quite some time, and really giving it a chance to sort of get fully incorporated. We're doing it a little bit faster. What would happen is the turkey would start to get really, really soft. And then you could actually just pull pieces of that turkey off of the bone. And you could use that as a garnish later. So I don't want to throw this away. I'll definitely use it. But for now, what we're looking for here is we're just going to kind of get all of this really good liquid. So I'm going to pour that in here. All right.
I've got a quick question. Lori Christensen wants to know, does the white balsamic vinegar have the depth of flavor that the dark has?
No, not as, sometimes if you want like a really rich, like, you know, like Italian, like from like Modena or whatever, it's not going to be like the same. But it works for like just a light dressing like we're doing today. And I would compare it more to like a champagne vinaigrette.
Okay,
so now I've added some mint leaves. I just want to make sure you guys are still with me here.
Before you blend it, we have a couple people that missed the first 8 minutes. They just want to know if you could brief.
Yeah, so what we did was we added onion, butter, peas, frozen peas, smoked turkey. You can also use a pork ham hock just to kind of get that smokiness and that flavor. We added a quart of chicken stock, and we let it cook for about 7 to 10 minutes. Now we are going to put that in the blender with a little bit of fresh mint. All right. So if you were, here we go. You guys can see. I'm going to pour it right into the bowls. If you were not serving it right away, you could just pour it right into the pot and keep it warm for later. But since it looks like Sarah's going to eat this as soon as the show is over, I'll go ahead and pour it right into her bowl. But it's definitely going to have that nice little bit of smoky flavor. You can use, if you wanted to garnish it, you could use like some fresh, like creme fraiche, or you know, something kind of smooth, even a little bit of whipped cream. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper and salt on here for you guys, and just kind of keep it simple. And that is our spring pea soup. So those are our recipes for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Thank you, Sarah, again.
My pleasure.
You're the best. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we have our spring pea soup, our orange and fennel salad, and our asparagus with grape tomatoes in a light balsamic vinaigrette.